All right, grand rising, grand arrival, grand return, peace and blessings to the righteous and repentant alike. I'm Sophia of the AmaruKhan Band of Indians. Well, not just of, the Tayac of the AmaruKhan Band of Indians. And this is your astroturography for the Libra New Moon, or Dark Moon as I call it. And this lunation is going to be taking place on October the 2nd, 2:48 p.m. This is a solar eclipse. Really important information that's going to come out with this. So if you enjoy this type of astrological content, please feel free to join me over on my YouTube channel, where my handle is Sophia Spiritualite, where we regularly discuss the daily transmutations. And also you might be interested in joining us over on what's that thing, Patreon, where you can get the slides for our daily transmutations and other great information that's not available on the public facing side. Also, if you're new to my channel and you don't know, this is a clip out of a longer video which covers the entire Libra Dark Moon, which is available for free if you join my the AmaruKhan Lunar Working Group, which is listed below in as a Telegram group. It's totally free. We have meetings from time to time, but I always post the full slides, the full information on these lunations and other things that we're working on. So it's free. You can click to join if you want to support me in any other way. All that information is in the description. So let's get started with this this lunation. So the very first placement we have is the ascendant and the part of fortune, which I call Earth, and that's at 16 degrees of Capricorn in the first house, of course, ascendant. And this card is the Empress, and the Empress is love, beauty, fertility, and abundance. So because this is Libra, this is definitely codifying who is in charge. It's the divine feminine, not the wicked feminine. Now, the way that I do my tarot interpretations for anybody who is new is based on my tarot spiral. You can look in my channel to see exactly how that goes. But this card, the Empress, is not card 3 in my deck. It's in my on my spiral. It's actually card 1. It is the first emanation of the Creator into physical form. So 0 is the Emperor and the Empress is 1. So this is basically how this energy comes about. It is the first emanation of this energy. So it's going to be in its purest form. It's going to be in its most holy form. It's going to be in the form that makes the most sense. You're just looking.
No, it's a mosquito, I think.
Oh, okay. So this is pure love. This is divine love. This is divine feminine. Now, there has been as many astrologers and also channelers, tarot card readers. There's been a huge distortion between the divine feminine and the dark feminine, right? And so this, after this lunation, this should, especially since this is an eclipse, and it's a solar eclipse, there should be no question on who's a divine feminine and who's a dark feminine. That's going to be exposed. And the divine feminine herself, the Empress, is coming to make sure that you can tell the difference between the divine feminine in an upright position and the dark feminine in a reverse position. It's the part of fortune and the ascendant. There's going to be no doubt. It's the fortune part is tapping into the divine feminine. So all these people tapping into this, dark feminine are going to face a lot of, it's going to be some negative things that happen to them as a result of being into contact with this, this negative, this dark feminine. And I just use the term dark feminine because it's not that all dark feminines are bad, but they're out of alignment. We don't have time for all these people in this dark energy that are just literally out of alignment with how the energy is flowing. This is the first card, the Ascendant, and it's a part of fortune. That means we're in the time where the divine feminine is going to be uplifted. If you don't know what a divine feminine looks like, might I suggest, without being political, but just having a deep respect for this woman. There's an interview that was done by Melania Trump like a few days ago. By the time you see this, honestly, we would have reparations by now if she was still first lady. And I know you may or may not believe this, but I follow politics very closely. I follow this woman very closely. People were already in talks with her about it. She brought it up to, Trump, and, was really kind of advocating for this in the background. We would have had it by now. And I know no one wants to admit that to you, but I follow this woman. It would have happened. And so if for those people who think that reparations is the answer, she going to be your best bet. And this is from my personal beliefs and kind of energy work that I've been doing in this realm since 2015. So I don't say that lightly. But if you want an example of what a divine feminine looks like, that interview will be a good place to start. Anyway, because there's not really a lot of divine feminine archetypes out there. Like, I wish I could tell you, so I could show you a lot of dark feminine archetypes, but you know what the dark feminine looks like. The divine feminine is much more difficult. The dark feminine, let me just mention that. Who is the dark feminine? The dark feminine is ran right now by this entity named Michelle Lammy. She is the leader of the dark feminine. And so there's a lot of people that are in constant contact with this woman. If you look her up, she is their leader. And so what we need is the antithesis of that. What we should be looking for is the antithesis of that. And so if you can understand what I'm saying without me, going missing for talking about this the way that I am, you can get it. Otherwise, this is as comfortable as much as I feel comfortable saying publicly. Let's move on. The next placement is Saturn, and that's at 14 degrees of Pisces in the third house, and this is the 9 of coins, and that's success, great love, and reward. So if you are able to align yourself with the divine feminine, there is great reward. Now remember, this is if you do nothing else. If you just flow with the energy. We're also going to look at the transmutations of this, but it might be better to flow with the energy than to transmute all the energy. Just do what feels follow the path that feels the best to you. I just like to give the options in case flowing with the energy is not producing the results that you would like. You have the option to transmute it, or you have the option to flow with the energy as it is. But you will put a lot of energy into flowing with the energy, right? Okay. And the next placement we have is the North Node, which is at 6 degrees of Aries in the 4th house. And this is the Fool. And that's beginning, start of a new journey. And it's really, a child. And so we can see that the love, beauty, and fertility of the Empress mixed with the success and great love and rewards of the 9 of coin produces this new beginning and the start of a new journey. I mean, this is what we need. The leaning into the divine feminine and the upright feminine is really what is going to get us to this new beginning. The next placement we have is Mars at 15 degrees of Cancer and in the 7th house. And that's the 3 of Cups, which is happiness and gratitude, a celebration. So again, once this child is born, this new life is brought in, then it's a celebration to be had. I mean, these are all things. I mean, this is really not a bad reading. As far as energy is concerned. So this is what the majority of people will be experiencing, which is, I think, is a good sign. The next placement we have is the Descendant, which is, I already said, the Descendant, which is 16 degrees of Cancer in the 7th house, which is the Chariot, and that's triumph, victory, and overcoming obstacles. So again, we're celebrating, we're triumphing, we have victory. This is really, really good energy. After that, we have the South Node, which is at 6 degrees of Libra in the 10th house. And that's the Two of Swords. So once you overcome these obstacles, this is where people are going to start to get tripped up. This is our intuition card. So your intuition will tell you, okay, maybe it's time to start transmuting this energy. Now we've got all the good stuff out of this. Let's start transmuting this energy. I'm assuming that, because remember, cups are delusional energy. The Fool is a delusional energy because it's on the top. It's not quite as delusional as the Cups energy, but the North Node, Mars, and Descendant are all in the energy that's visible. The Ascendant and Saturn are in more invisible energy because Capricorn, is it Capricorn? Yeah, Capricorn and Pisces are below the horizon. They're on the inside. So you have this things that are happening on the inside, and then it comes into fruition on the outside. But then it's going to start to take a turn, right? So with this intuition, you have to use your intuition to determine which path to take next. And the next card after that is where we have the Sun, the Moon, and the Black Moon. And that's, and Mercury. Sorry, Sun, Moon, Black Moon, and Mercury are at 10 degrees and 11 degrees of Libra respectively. And that's the Three of Swords, which is internal liberation. Is also our the self-deletion card. So a lot of people will have this, this euphoria kind of feeling, and then instead of using their intuition, you know what? Let me not say that yet. You know what this feels like? This feels like people believing the polls and believing, that the polls are reporting accurate information, and then kind of like having the rug pulled out of them, right? This is what this looks like. Like at the, literally, instead of trusting their intuition and being like, something about these polls doesn't seem right. It doesn't sit well with me. Like your intuition might say, but you might think, oh, they got this great victory, so on and so forth, that's just lined up, but it's not real. You know what I mean? Because again, the cups energy is delusional. Everything that's on the top is not really based in cups specifically are delusional energy, and these people are going to be cautioned to use their intuition, but they're not. And so when this Sun, Moon, Black Moon, and Mercury comes into this Three of Swords energy, yeah, it could be internally liberating if you're if you're reasonable and rational, or you can self-delete. I mean, I've been saying for several lunations, that people are not going to be able to handle this energy, and they're just going to take themselves out. And that's literally what this looks like to me personally. Just to validate that, we have Vulcan at 15 degrees of Libra in the 10th house, and that's the Queen of Swords, and that's confident, willing to learn, and equality. So, but the Queen of Swords is also, it's like the divine feminine is in one way. Okay, maybe it's not the divine feminine. Okay, wait a minute now. Maybe you have this divine feminine coming in, this dark feminine coming in the Empress energy, offering people all of this money, right? And then they birth this, oh my gosh, they birth this fool, that's a literal fool, and they start partying and celebrating their own victory. And then, all of a sudden, the Chariot comes, which is fast moving away from wherever. It's a house built on false pretenses. That's what the Chariot is. It's a house built on false pretenses, because it looks like a chariot, but it doesn't move. There's no way to make that thing move. That's all in your imagination. That's why I say Cups energy is delusional. It's not real. It's not based on no reality. But reality hits with that Two of Swords, because it is the first card in the lower half of the wheel. And then the Three of Swords right behind it, and then the Queen of Swords is like, yeah, let me hit you with a dose of what's really going on. That feminine y'all thought y'all was working with, that was an upright feminine, was really a dark feminine, and now she's coming to collect. Confident, willing to learn. Yeah, willing to learn which ones are positively oriented and negatively oriented, who wants blood and who's, calling for the end of blood to be shed, right? And then the very last placement we have is Venus. So Venus being the last placement in the chart, but Venus is the last placement in the chart, in the actual chart. And Venus being in this position, 11 degrees of Scorpio in the 11th house, 1111. This card is the Six of Swords, and it's new beginning, change, and new love. So basically, that dark feminine is going to keep all of these crazy partiers out, or it's going to send you out the pasture. Because that's a group, people going away in a boat. That's a sinking boat. That boat's going to sink. It's got swords in it. So this, first, man, I thought this was telling a whole different story. This is really the story of the dark feminine. Like, the dark feminine is going to come in looking like the Empress, but she's going to go out looking like the dark feminine she is. And being that this Venus is at 11 degrees of Scorpio in the 11th house, 1111, yikes. 11 is, let me see. Oh, I got that in another book. Eleven is 11 days are hidden days, but 11 is master guide, athlete, intuition, and emotional. So this is literally like an emotional energy. There's people who are just going to be emotional about this victory that they thought that they had coming, but it's not the way that it wasn't real. It was fake. It was all fake, It was never real. This feminine who's in this, Empress energy was never a divine feminine. Ooh. Y'all heard that? This feminine who is in this Empress energy was never a divine feminine. Who never, who just literally have all of these, coins, this success, this great love and rewards from doing absolutely no work. No work at all. Like, I'm not going into it because y'all don't want to hear that. But let's just say if you don't do anything with this energy and you're just going along with the flow of the energy, this is what you are going to experience. You're going to have this feminine that's not a divine feminine, manipulate. It's almost like the Antichrist energy, to be honest. Like, you would think the Antichrist would be masculine, but it feels like this is the Antichrist energy. Like, and it's not masculine, it's feminine. Which would make sense because it's mocking. Remember, the Antichrist spirit is a mocking spirit. And it could come in I've been talking about this. There was a fight between the Jezebel and the Antichrist. And I guess the Antichrist energy won out. And so we're going to get Antichrist energy in a feminine body. Or maybe that was the compromise that they made so that they could each, be active. I don't know. This is very ominous energy. So if you don't do anything to transmute it, this is what you can see happen. And catch me in with the Libra full moon to see how accurate this was over the next 6 months, because it's going to play out for 6 months, right? So FYI, that's how moon, especially, remember, this is the solar eclipse, so this is going to be in public. It has to deal with the leaders, the head of the quote unquote world, country, whatever. This is a very public thing that's going on. It's not going to be pleasant, in my opinion. So let's talk about how to transmute this energy. So that's why it's good. If you haven't gotten a reading from me, I am doing readings now. Send me an email. It's good to get a reading because you may think that certain things are bad or certain things are good. But when we look at the transmutations, we're going to get the real sense of how the energy is going to flow, as opposed to just looking at the cards and saying, oh, well, this is it. But once you look at the cards with a more critical eye, you can see how this energy is really going to flow. And that's something that, I've developed. So the very first card here, the Ascendant and Earth card, is the Chariot, which is triumph, victory, overcoming obstacles, but through the lens of the 7th house in Cancer, which is need a person who can help them be in touch with their sensitive side and emotions. So instead of starting out this energy and the Empress, which is like, oh, I can do this all by myself. I am the queen of the world. I don't need anyone to help me. This is more like coming in saying, I know that I can't build myself. I know that I am built within the realm of what the Creator allows. And one of the elements or spirit intelligences that we talked about within this lunation has to deal with the creation of the Philosopher's Stone, and that can't be created alone. You have to. That's not something you do by yourself. So this is also like, and again, this a lot of the spirit intelligences with this lunation talk about working with people, presenting something to people. You know what I mean? Like really getting out there and dealing with people. So you need a person who can help you be in touch with your sensitive side and emotions. So that is what's going to bring you the triumph. Having that person you can bounce this information and this energy off of. I always call it keeping me honest. Like those people who will keep you honest and tell you the truth about how you feel, about how they feel, about how you feel. And that's going to be a theme through this as we go through the rest of these cards. The next placement is Saturn in the Nine of Cups, which is dreams, enjoyment, and happiness through the lens of the ninth house in Virgo, which is to investigate the situations in your life closely to get back on track. So again, this has to deal with bouncing the ideas off of people. So to get the triumph and victory, you're going to have to interact with people who will give you honest feedback. And then to really receive this Nine of Cups, because remember, cups are delusional. Cancer is in the within the realm of the cups. It's also delusional. So these two delulu energies, these unreal energies, they can be transmuted by getting proper feedback. So there's a lot of people now who are doing things and they don't have quote unquote anyone they can trust, and so or they're going to people who are untrustworthy. These a lot of people are now coming out against the spiritual community, which I mean, it's way past time to do that. We also need to come out against these people who are taking advantage of certain people, especially a lot of Haitians are taking advantage of Black Americans in ways that are just unreasonable. And we really have to come out and just be against anybody taking advantage of anybody. But don't exclude Haitians. Like, I know that there's this whole thing about the Haitians and the cats and whatever. Let me mention to you again, unpopular known fact, that there's a little religion called voodoo. And Haitians do a lot of voodoo. And just last year with Hurricane Idalia, at the same time that hurricane happened, you had an individual, Barbecue Cherazier, who was the leader of the quote-unquote rebellion within Haiti, who actually had members of his gang eating members of the opposing gang. That's a domination technique. So if you hear stories about people going into a particular city in the Midwest where the population is mostly white Americans, like 100% white Americans, and your response is these people need to stop attacking the Haitians who are doing voodoo on these white Americans, because they can't do voodoo on us. We are far too powerful for them to do that crap to us anymore. We have fought back in all kinds of ways, but the white Americans, they don't have the same powers as we do. So they have these people doing voodoo on them by eating their pets. That's what that is. That's voodoo. That's a domination spell. Just like we saw with Barbecue Cherazier. The man's name is Barbecue. Anyway, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And a lot of people, as I've been mentioning, have taken the side of the Haitians without thinking, why are they doing this voodoo on Americans? Whether American is white, black, orange, or green, as soon as they're American, they are under our dominion, under our power as the leaders of the Americas. Okay? So if you're letting foreigners, period, foreigners, come in and disrespect fellow Americans, There's a problem there. You're probably not going to be able to have a leadership position if you allow foreigners to come in and disrespect your population. Now, do the white Americans need to learn a lesson? Absolutely, because I've seen some of them say stuff like, oh, when we came to America, there was nothing here. No, you need to suffer. So I'm not saying that they don't need to suffer, but do they deserve to have voodoo done on them that they're going to take years and years and generations to undo? No. Those Haitians don't have those Haitians don't have a mandate to come to America and make America great again. That's not for them to do. Americans have to do that. They don't have a mandate to dominate Americans. So no, they have to go back to where they came from and do that on their own island. Because I heard from doing some research that they tried to take over the whole island. Haiti is one side, Dominica is the other side. They could not take over Dominica, where they may have beat the French. They could not beat the Dominicans. Make that make sense. They beat, like, listen. They beat one of the number one armies in the world, militaries in the world, with Napoleon. They beat him, right? But they couldn't beat the Dominicans. Make it make sense. I'm just make it make sense. You guys have to look at this stuff more critically. These people who are coming here and doing these things do not like us. They are our mortal enemies. Because if Black Americans don't have our power back, they keep more power. When we step into our power and say, no, you're not allowed to come to our country and our land where we've been for hundreds of thousands of years and destroy our land and our people who are here. I don't care what color they are. You don't have permission to do that. We have to correct those people, not them. It's not for them to do. They don't have any power or dominion or anything to correct those people. They need to go back where they came from, correct the people on your own island. And it's not the ones that are okay with being here, that have accepted AmaruKhan, as their patron god. It's the ones that are worshiping those foreign gods. The same reason why Barabbas was not crucified and Jesus was. Like, y'all got to put these stories together. There's a group of people who cried, Barabbas, give us Barabbas. Those were the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the Levites, okay? That initiated that whole scenario. And these are the ones that you're trusting to deliver you into the promised land? Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? You're being unreasonable. And someone has to say it. I'm being heavily attacked right now because someone has to say this. And nobody is willing to say it. So here you go. They don't like us. They're not like us, okay? When that not like us doesn't just refer to these rich people. They're not like us, okay? We have a lot of power very, very deeply within us, and they don't. They don't have it because they sold out to these foreign gods, and we didn't. I didn't sell my soul to a foreign god so that I could eat, so that I could have $5 in my pocket, so that I could come to America and terrorize the Black Americans, okay? A lot of them did. They sold out to all these different gods, and now they have to do these blood sacrifices to feed those gods. Absolutely not. You got to go. And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But it applies to a lot of these people. And someone needs to really say it. The problems in the spiritual community will not be solved until people start calling out these Haitians and these Hebrew Israelites, to be frank, because I saw another video of the Hebrew Israelites marching with the Haitians in Ohio. What sense does that make? These Haitians are the ones who are trying to take over the powers of the blacks who are from here. The Black Hebrews, quote unquote, Hebrew Israelites from this country who do not know themselves. They're trying to usurp our power on the left hand and the right hand side with the Melchizedek priesthood and the Levitical priesthood. They're trying to take it over from all sides. And those are the ones that you trust? And yet people like me who make videos every day telling you how to transmute the energy, you don't trust me. Your sister from the land. No, you don't trust me. No, you don't want to join my tribe, which is about freedom and emancipation and everything else. You're going to go to these people who are usurping your power and your energy and using it to destroy you. That's who you trust. Who's taking your information and doing witchcraft on you. That's who you trust. Y'all need a heart check. This is enraging to see my people suffer like this. For what? For some power that was never theirs and they cannot have. And the Most High would never give them no power. Not an iota, not a corner of power. They don't deserve it. They deserve to be wiped off the map for what they've done to our people here on this land. And yet you worship them as the Levites. Get the hell out of here. Take that shit with you and go back to that land. If you believe that. I believe we are the people. We are the people who didn't choose to serve a foreign god to win a battle. That's why we went into slavery. Because we did not sell our soul to a foreign god. People who never went into slavery, like the Levites, they never went into slavery, balls. Why you think that is? Because they sold their soul to a foreign god. The story is right there in Malachi. Oh, well, let's just go head on. And Malachi says, oh, I need you to come and be my God. The Levite says, okay, boss. The Danites come along. And what happens? He tells Malachi, I can't be yours anymore. I'm going along with the Danites. The Danites like, we need you to be our God and our priest. Okay, boss. He goes right along. He don't even think about what he already took from. He stole clothes, money, shelter, idols, whatever Malachi had in his house. He stole all of that from him and went with the Danites. Get the hell out of here, man. Y'all are ridiculous. This is ridiculous. We cannot trust these people. Anybody who serves a foreign god. Who serves a foreign god? The people who have money and they're taken care of and they're not doing anything to give back to the community, they serve a foreign god. Give back money. People need money. People need food. People need resources. I don't have nothing, but if whatever I do have, I have time. So I make videos about how you can transmute the energy and have a good day. What are these people giving back that's actually useful? If these people are not giving you anything that's useful, that's not the same old dumb shit, day in, day out, you need to reject them. Unfollow, unsubscribe, unlike, all of it. If you don't like what I'm saying, unfollow, unsubscribe, unlike. But you need a reality check. We are being attacked. And you are giving up our power by following along with these people who hate you. Not just the Haitians, the Melchizedek priesthood too. They hate you. Because they want your power too. And you're giving it right on up. Like a loose woman. Enough is enough with these people. I don't even know where I was. The North Node is the wheel of fortune, which is good fortune, karma, and dharma, and luck, through the house lens of the 10th house in Libra, which is become spiritually enlightened and use all your creativity. You can't afford to give these people your creativity. You're giving these... Oh. Jesus, have mercy. People have been giving these people money, books, resources, information. They have not turned back around one time to say thank you and let me give it back. Let me look back. Like the only one leper out of the 10 came back to thank Jesus. The other 10 lepers went about their way. That's what these niggas are. They're the 10 lepers. These Melchizedeks and these Levites, they're the 10 lepers. They're the 9 lepers that ran away and didn't come back. So you have to be like the one that goes back to your creator, to your father, and say thank you for saving me, allowing me to make it through this, what these people have done to me. But first you have to realize that you're sick. You too are a leper. We're all lepers. Only one leper turned back. One. If I'm the one, hey, I'm the one. But we can all be the one. Let the 9 run away with their power and think that they can use it. But you need to take your creativity and your spiritual enlightenment and go back to the Creator and tell him thank you. Don't be like these 9. Be like the 1. Mars is at the 3 of Coins, which is good results in teamwork through the lens of the first house in Capricorn, which is able to persist when looking to make their dreams come true with a precise goal. So again, you need to have a precise goal in mind for what you're trying to achieve. And you will have good results with that. What is a precise goal with this lunation? Well, to be happy, to enjoy your life, to have freedom, right? To experience true freedom and the ability to control your own energy. That's a precise goal. If you have that goal for your lunation, for all of the, it's a solar eclipse. So for all of the negative contracts to be burned off, to be burned away. If you have that as your goal for this lunation, it's precise, you can get it. But guess what? A lot of people in your life gonna have to go. And not a little go, a lot of go. They have to go. You cannot allow these people to stay in your life that are using your energy for wickedness and for unrighteousness. They have to go. All right, the descendant is the Empress. So now we get into, once you've done this part, so look at the difference in this. The ascendant, starting with the Chariot, is to get all these to ground out all these delusions by, conversing with other people and seeing, am I crazy? Is this what I'm really seeing? Is that what I'm really seeing? Is this what's really happening? Get out all those delusions. Come to the Creator with respect and humbleness and a plan. Repent for being a leper, for recognizing that you took on because how is leprosy passed? It's a skin-to-skin disease. You took on the leprosy when you got into bed with these Melchizedeks and these Levites. You come to the Creator and say, man, I wasn't trying to get in bed with them. I didn't want to take on their karma. I didn't want to take on their karma for the things that they have done. That's not my karma to take on. You come to the Creator with that, you can get a real answer. And then that's when the Empress comes in. So the descendant is the Empress. And that's love, beauty, fertility, and abundance. So remember, the Empress is the first emanation from creation. So basically, once you get your relationship right with the Creator, for the fact that you're a leper, that's when the mother, the divine mother, can appear and bring you what you need to heal. That's when you can be fed. Oh my, all praise to the Most High, man. That's when you can be fed by the Creator directly from the mother, from the divine feminine. That's the order. You have to first admit that you're a leper and come to the Creator with the fact that you agreed to work with these people and you repent for that, and you want your precise goal is to have that removed from you. Then by the time you do all of that, then the mother, the true divine mother, will come in. And a lot of y'all think y'all work with the divine mother and you not, man. I can tell you for a fact that you're not. This demonic mother, this dark mother, this dark feminine is really, really tricky. She's really close and she's really, really tricky. But this is how you know you're dealing with the divine feminine. The divine feminine comes directly from the Creator. It is the first emanation, the face that moved across the waters. It is the first emanation from creation. The first. That starts with the spark, the tower, and the star. That's how you know when you're dealing with the divine feminine. A lot of y'all dealing with the wicked feminine, man. I don't know how to help you with that. And this Empress is through the lens of the first house in Capricorn, which is to persist when looking to make their dreams come true with a precise goal. So again, this has to do with your goals, with your precise goals. If you are trying to, again, remove these wicked people, these wicked entities from you, and the contracts that they fraudulently put you in, the Divine Mother will assist you with that. But not until you realize, you accept, you admit, I too am a leper. And I need to be purified. Go back and read that story, man. The next placement is the Two of Wands. And this is the outside influence card. This is, in this position, is going to be Elijah, which is plans, travel, and new ideas, the Elijah story, through the lens of the fourth house in Aries, which is constant need for support. Others help them keep their beliefs, need to be patient and keep their temper in line. So the Elijah card. What happened after Elijah beat all of those 450 priests of Baal that Jezebel had? He killed all of them, and he was terrified, and he ran into the woods. What happened? The angel fed him. The mother fed him every day via an angel while he was in the wilderness for 40 days. Hopefully some of y'all been fasting with us. I haven't done an update for the fast yet. I will. We've been fasting since the 1st of August all the way through after this election. We are not playing around with this energy. It's very, very potent. And I don't want to be misled by this wicked feminine. It's way too easy for her to work her manipulations right now. I don't want to be involved with that. So once you do the clearing of the things, the Divine Mother will present herself to you and will take care of you. Okay? The next placement we have is the Moon, the Sun, the Black Moon, and Mercury, all at 3 of Wands, which is external gratitude. Wow. Through the lens of the 4th house, which is, again, constant need for support. Others help keep their beliefs, need to be patient, and keep temper in line. So again, once you make these changes, you'll start to see these people for who they really are. It could make you very upset. And so, again, you have, the wands to do the correcting to them, but it's not for you to do. You can observe, you let people get what they get, and you kind of stay out of it. It's not for you to involve yourself in people's karma, because if you do, you take on their karma. That's been the whole problem with this Hebrew Israelite movement. We have been taking on their karma, which is not our karma. We did not, listen to me carefully. We did not sell out and worship foreign gods. That's the reason why we went into slavery. Understand me. We went into slavery because we would not worship the foreign gods. Those people in the demonic 9, the Melchizedek priesthood, and the Levites who did not go into slavery also made the choice to worship foreign gods. What do you think the demonic 9 is? It's the worshiping of foreign gods. The Melchizedeks, it's the worshiping of foreign gods. The Levites, they worship foreign gods. They worship them. We don't worship these gods. We never worship these gods. That's why we went into slavery. We refused. And therefore, we suffered under when the dark feminine was in charge. This big mama y'all talking about. As the dark feminine ruled over us with an iron fist, we suffered. And now we're coming out of that. The divine feminine is going to present herself and take care of us. But we have to reject the dark feminine and all her tricks and all her workers. And embrace the divine feminine. It's a requirement. The planet, anyone who's going to be saved must embrace the divine feminine, and it's going to be now. This is the time for it. This lunation. All right. And just to reinforce that, we have Vulcan, which is in the Queen of Wands. That's pride, femininity, and self-confidence through the lens of the 4th house in Aries. Constant need for support. Others help keep their beliefs. Need to be patient and keep temper and balance. So this is the divine feminine coming in the Queen of Wands. What are wands? Wands are corrections. They correct you. They correct your thinking. We are going to get some corrections, which is fine, of our understanding, of our thinking. A lot of this is corrections. That's what the divine feminine will do. The divine feminine will correct you. The divine feminine will not punish you for having a difference of opinion. The divine feminine will not harm you for expressing how you really feel about something. Only a dark feminine is going to do that. And then we have Venus, which is the 6 of Wands, and that's victory, success, and good news through the lens of the 5th house in Taurus, which is need to develop creativity and express it in a balanced and consistent manner. So the divine feminine is going to come in and is going to, this card is our triumphant entry. So instead of a crucifixion, we get a triumphant entry. Let's look at the 6 of Swords again. What is the 6 of Swords? The 6 of Swords is leaving out, disillusioned with nothing in a sinking ship. Or we can get a triumphant entry. A re-entry into our position as the leaders. The leaders we were supposed to be. The leaders we have always been, but forfeited our power to those people who worship foreign gods. And the choice is yours. Accept the energy as it comes or do the transmutations. This is not going to come without work. You do have to work. There's no opportunity for this to happen without work. But there's a triumphant entry at the end of the work. There's a path. There's a choir of angels saying Hosanna, Hosanna. Glory to God in the highest. If you can transmute these energies. So I hope this has been helpful. This was a lot. And I probably haven't had no followers after this, but so be it, man. Somebody got to tell y'all the truth. And I guess it's me, because who else would it be? So, shalom, peace and blessings, much love and respect, and we'll see you in the next video.